folks, we are officially fixing the backyard pond. If you're new here, last summer we dug a hole, we packed it, we filled it with water, and unfortunately it leaked. So I was left with three options. Option A, buy the world's largest liner and turn it into a giant swimming pool. Estimated cost, $150,000. Option B, haul in clay and bentonite, spread it, pack it, and hope for the best. Estimated cost, $150,000. Or option C, leave it and turn it into a sweet dirt bike track. Now I've presented all three options to you guys in previous videos, and today is the day we finally make the decision. We are, in fact, going with... What's going on, folks? Welcome back to another video. Before we jump in, I gotta let you know that PDS Debt is sponsoring today's video. PDS Debt has customized options for anyone struggling with credit cards, personal loans, collections, or medical bills. If you're making payments every month on your debt and your balances aren't going down, then this program's for you. PDS Debt provides options that consolidate all of your debts into one low monthly payment. Everyone with $10,000 or more in eligible debt qualifies. And there's no minimum credit score required. Whether you've got bad credit or fair credit, both are accepted. PDS Debt cares about helping you get out of debt. Check out all of the reviews and see how many mention PDS Debt employees by name. They're a top-rated company on Google and have an A+ rating on the Better Business Bureau. If you're like me, you know how easy it can be just to take your credit card and swipe it without even thinking about how much that product even costs. Getting into debt is easy, getting out of debt, not so much. PDS Debt helps you save thousands in interest and fees, and allows you to pay off your debt in a fraction of the time. And right now, PDS Debt is offering a free debt analysis, and it only takes 30 seconds. So head over to pdsdebt.com/FLAIR to get your free debt assessment today. It'll be linked down in the description down below. Huge shout out to PDS Debt for sponsoring today's video. It's brands like them that I partner up with that allow me to do what I do every single day, which is make videos for you guys at home to enjoy. So with that being said, let's get back to today's video. What's going on, folks? Welcome back. That is right. It is time to fix the pond. Okay, behind me here is the backyard pond, the infamous leaky backyard pond. And we've been trying to figure out solutions on how to make this thing work for like almost a year now. It seems like maybe like 6 months or so. And so if you guys have been following along, we've been making a video series, we documented the build, we documented trying to fill it, and we documented it leaking, and then we documented trying to figure out a solution. And really there comes down to two things that we've come up with to fix this. One, bring in clay and bentonite and line the sucker. Like if you guys watch Bama Bass, that's what he did for his pond. Or you can bring in like a rubber liner, which is what we did for that fish hatchery right over there. So it's basically like a swimming pool liner. Those are really your two options. And I'll be honest, both are extremely, extremely expensive. Okay, like you're talking tons of money. And so there's pros, there's cons. I'm not gonna get super into it, okay? Because we've already made videos about this. We went to my neighbor's pond, some of them had clay, some of them had the liner. We've seen pros and cons for both of them, and we've made a decision, okay? And to be honest, it's not the decision that I was planning on making. I was really actually gunning for the other decision, and at the very last second, I pulled the old flipperoo and changed my mind. But this was, in fact, the fan favorite. This was your guys' vote. So if this doesn't work, I get to blame you guys, because this is what you guys said to do in order to fix the pond. How nervous are you?
Pretty nervous.
How nervous are you?
I'm chilling.
Because it's not your money?
Right.
Really? You're not nervous at all for me?
Nah, it's gonna work. You'll be good.
You're not nervous because you're confident.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Why are you nervous?
For you.
Because if it doesn't
catch fish.
You and me both. So, without going into detail, we are, in fact, doing clay and bentonite. Okay, I know. There's like some of you guys like, you should have just done a liner. Most of you guys said clay and bentonite. You know, some pros would be that it's a little bit more natural, and you know, the issue with it is it potentially could not work. Okay, so here's really the deal. Here's how the numbers broke down. Okay, we need to bring in clay because the dirt around here ain't clay-like. Okay, we need to bring in clay and we need to line the entire thing. Now, one of the cons with that is we've actually got to smooth out the entire pond. We've got to make the pond nice and smooth like a cereal bowl in order to do that, and not have any contours, the humps, the bumps, the road beds, which was stuff that we put into the original pond design that we now have to take out. But I've got a solution for that. You'll see that later in today's video. And so we need to bring in clay to basically line the entire thing, okay? And that clay is gonna cost $50,000. It's gonna cost $50,000 for the very first layer of clay. And that includes the clay itself, that includes the truck, and that includes the packing. Then you've got the decision of whether you wanna use bentonite or not. Bentonite's gonna cost you another $60,000 because we're trucking it in from like freaking Wyoming or something, okay? Then we've got to pay to spread it. Then we've got to pay to pack it. Okay, and then you're going to want a protective layer over that clay and bentonite, right? Because at that point, your pond should be sealed, but you banjo start stomping around or start shooting holes, shooting bullfrogs, okay? You could pop a hole. So what we're thinking is, what if we bring another layer of clay? So you make a sandwich. You basically make an Oreo sandwich, okay, for the pond. You've got your cookie is the first layer of clay. The cream is the bentonite. The next layer of cookie is more clay. It's sandwiched in it. That way.
Big Junior's language now.
Yeah, really?
Well, Oreos?
Yes.
Yeah, those are good.
I'm a big Oreo guy, honestly. So that's like the ultimate. That's like the premium. That's like when you go to the car wash, okay? And it's like, do you want me to just spray it down? Do you want me to wash it? Do you want me to give you the whole works with the wax and whatever? All of them will clean your car, but they may leave some spots behind, okay? And so if you skimp and only do one layer of clay, you could potentially risk not having it hold. Even if you bring in the $60,000 of bentonite, you could also risk it not holding and getting punctured. If you do the double layer Oreo cookie sandwich, that's the ultimate. The issue is that's over $150,000 in total. You see where we're headed. And now you might be thinking, well, Flair, why don't you just do the liner? The liner's the same freaking price, and we couldn't get anybody to come out here and help install it and then, you know, melt the seams together. And then all of a sudden it takes Banjo with a Rogue 22, and hey, now you got a leak, okay? You don't want that. That wouldn't be good for anybody.
50 cal boy over here will shoot a hole in it.
That would also not be good.
That would probably do it.
The 50 cal would not do great. So that's the plan. I was really gonna do the liner. I mean, if you guys watch the videos, you could tell I was really leaning towards the liner. And at the last second, I was like, screw it. We've had a really good late winter. It's been pretty dry out here. It's now or never. If you don't do it now and we start getting spring rains, you're screwed, because it has to be perfectly dry when you do this process. And so we got a hold of some clay, we got a hold of some bentonite, and everything is coming in, and we are hopefully by the end of this video gonna be having this entire pond built and complete and ready to hopefully fill with water. So with that being said, let's bring in the clay. Clay is here, ladies and gentlemen. That is right. The clay has been delivered, and I'm here to inspect it. Is it actually clay?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Look at that.
Holy smokes. What do you got going on there? This is pretty cool looking.
It's got some nice color.
Oh, yeah, it is a little. Yeah, this feels like clay. So, I mean, we have got none of this.
Wet.
Is it wet? Real? Oh, I mean, that looks like clay to me.
Yeah, it does.
See, I don't think we. Oh, look at that. That's kind of cool.
Some nice chips.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow. That's like actually like wet.
I think we might be in business here, boys. Okay. I was nervous when we were getting clay, because when I think of clay, I think of like red dirt clay, the stuff that Bama Bass use. We don't have red dirt clay around here, okay? And for me to import this much clay from Alabama, wherever the heck that is, it'd be like $2 trillion, okay? And so we found some similar, they call it like glacier till, I think glacial till or glacier till, something like that. It's like the blue colored stuff, and it's the clay that's kind of around here. It may not be like official clay, like actual clay, but it's similar to what actually clay is. And so it's the best thing that we've got around here, and it's way better than what we got in the pond right now. So what are you making? That looks like a nice turd, I'll be honest with you.
It does look like
that looks like a shiny dog turd. I mean, we've got a bunch of it. So as you saw, they brought it in, tons of truckloads. They built it up here, and so now they've got the scraper. That scraper is ready to rock and roll. What's gonna happen is they built this ramp here, so the scraper will basically grab the clay, it'll go down into the pond, and it'll dump it. So what they're gonna do first is they're gonna actually spread it around the edges and work their way down to the bottom. And then what I've heard is hopefully they're gonna be able to just now bring the next run of trucks. Like this clay right here is only for the sides. They're gonna start bringing more trucks down to do the very bottom, but they wanna get the sides done first. So they'll actually bring the trucks down into the bottom and start dumping into the pond itself. That way you're not having to like haul twice, but for the sides, it's easier to do it with the scraper. So they basically built this like deposit area. You guys are like two little kids playing with, it's like playing with Play-Doh. Look at you. You guys are just over there having a good time.
Yeah.
So they brought it here, piled it up so the scraper can grab it and go. So that's at least the plan. But I want to test this clay, okay? Because the thing is, it's so hard. Like you can spend, as I found, you can spend unlimited amounts of money on building ponds. I would know from firsthand experience, okay? At some point, what is too much, okay? And a lot of people, when they build ponds, have the right soil, meaning clay, and just call it a day. They don't mess with the bentonite, and they don't mess with another layer of clay, okay? And so once they were bringing in all the clay, I was like, man, do I really need the bentonite? Do I really need another thing of clay? What if we just take this clay and cover the whole pond and pack it and call it a day? That would save me $100,000 if I do it that way, because the bentonite's another 60 and another thing of clay is like another 40 grand. So I think to make a decision before we say let's bring in the bentonite, we need to test this stuff. And I don't want to wait for him to pack the entire pond and then fill the pond up, because that would take like a year. So I'm thinking maybe we take some, maybe we go up to the shop and get some water and make like a little, like the pottery things. You ever make those things in school? The pinch pots.
Yeah.
Pinch pots. So basically make like a cup, make a dish, figure out how to do something that would hold water, pour some water in and test it. So we've got this bucket, and did you have a shovel?
I did.
Oh, look at you. You got a shovel. Find your finest clay and put it in there. Have you seen anything that's better? Just make sure it's wet or moist.
That did not work.
No, that didn't do nothing. I mean, just make sure it's got like some good moisture content, you know?
That's got some moisture. Nice color, right?
I'll be honest, that piece was really dry, but why don't we throw some in there and then we'll dissect it up at the shop. So we're gonna load the bucket up, or take it to the shop. We're gonna try to make some type of arts and crafts thing that'll hold water, dump water in it, and if it holds water, if it doesn't leak, then I don't think I'm gonna go with the bentonite, and I'm not gonna go with another layer of clay. I'm just gonna call it a day, save the 100 grand, and hope for the best. Let's put the clay to the test. We'll see you guys up at the shop. All right, we're back at the shop. Time to test this clay. Are you optimistic with this clay?
I think so.
Because see, when I see clay, it's like the red clay, which we don't have here.
Yeah.
Like the red dirt stuff. But this makes me nervous because it don't look like that.
I think we're good.
Do you think we're gonna be all right?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Did you take art class
I mean,
at
kind
times?
of.
Did you ever make pinch pots?
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna try to make.
Good
So
night.
that's what we're dangling with here, folks. This is, I mean, it's,
This feels like clay.
yeah. I mean, that's gotta be, it's just a little dry, not terribly dry. Ugh, like that's gotta be worth something, right?
Make it
Are you making one?
a spice dish.
Huh?
That's what they called it when we made it in
A
school.
spice dish?
Yeah.
You said, all right, guys, we're gonna make spice dishes today.
Uh-huh.
Not pinch pots?
No.
Really? Yeah, this is a pretty soft piece. So I figure the best way to test it is recreate this thing holding water. Because the question is, can we get away with just this clay and not have to pay for bentonite, because that's like another 60 grand, and not have to pay for another like blanket load of clay, which is like another 40 grand. So this would potentially save us like 100 grand if this holds water and we don't have to do. That's your pinch?
Kind of.
This is Buddy's spice dish, he said.
What? You put some salt in there while you're cooking and then just...
Is that how you do it?
That's how I would do it.
I'm not sure what he said. Did you take any of his classes or no?
No, we didn't have this in private school.
I forget you went to private school.
So do I, all the time.
Do you have to wear skirts or what?
No, I didn't.
Really? Well, it's a serious question.
Nice skirt.
Every time I think of private school, you just think of people in skirts, because I feel like that's what they had to wear, right?
I feel like the guys probably didn't wear skirts.
2024 now, dude. You never know. All right, this is a pinch pot, okay? What happens is you make a ball, then you put your thumb in it, and you pinch your thumb and your forefinger, and you just make a little pot. What these are good for? Apparently spices, but
Spice dish.
other than that, I mean, that looks more like a spice dish than yours, I feel like. So the thing is, we're putting down like 6 to 8 inches. This is only like the bottom thickness is probably like a ½ inch, maybe, or so. Do you have water here? Do we have any water? Look at you, Big Junior strapped. All right, folks, this is a moment of truth. Pinch pot with the clay, water test. Will it leak? Here, you want to fill yours up, or do you feel...
No, I feel confident.
Do you? So far, it's holding. Look at that. You can drink from it. You just made a little cup.
Take a sip.
Well, it's leaking out the crack, but that's because it's a crack.
Mine might have a crack in it.
Hey, yours is leaking, son. Look at the drip.
It's got a crack in it.
Look at the drip.
Drink it, Big Junior.
I probably won't do that.
Oh, I'm leaking a little bit. Oh, I'm dripping through the bottom.
You got a crack?
What if I make it 6 inches thick, like we're doing the pond? Would that be better?
I would assume that would be better, yes.
I need like the proper tools for pottery.
You're gonna make one?
I don't know. Like, how am I? This is rock hard,
Why you
dude.
throw it at the ground?
I'm trying to break off a piece. I mean, it's leak. See the little bit of water we got dangling here? A little bit of a leak. It's not bad. I mean, it's definitely holding better than the dirt we have now, but it's not like, see, now with water, I feel like I can actually smooth it. You know what I mean? Like, we need that little turntable thing. That way you can, look at this.
A turntable?
Yeah.
Like a DJ?
Wicka, wicka. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
there.
See, look at this. Big Junior, this is like high quality.
It's clay.
No, I'm talking about my sculpture here. See, now that I got it all wet. You making another one or what?
I don't know.
Pinch pot test, I would say holds water, but not a permanent seal. But that was only ½ inch thick. If you were to make it 6 inches thick, like this thick, like the water would have to go from here all the way through there in order for it to seep. What do you think? Would you just do it, save the 100 grand? Would you do it and just throw the bentonite down, or would you do it and do bentonite and clay? What do you think?
I'd say we go all the way. You know,
It's because it's not your money.
right.
We're talking about $100,000 difference.
Not for me.
This makes me not as confident, the fact that the water came through this.
This
I
one's
don't know.
got a crack.
All I know is this clay, this dirt, I'll put it that way. This dirt is better than what we currently have. The real what are you working on over there?
This one's not leaking out.
Your whole hand is soaked. How would you know?
Because it's not going down.
Yeah, but you gotta get.
It's not going down.
But you got it. That's mine did the same thing, and then eventually it leaks. But the bottom of your hand is soaking wet. There's no way you would be able to tell.
Dude, look, there's water on the bottom right there.
That's because I dumped water on it.
Well,
why'd you do
I
that?
feel like yours leaked the same amount as mine.
No, this one's still.
You're telling me that one's
still
holding?
water in it.
So mine had water too the whole time. It
Yeah.
slowly leaks. It slowly leaks. It's not a fast leak.
You see any drips? Because I don't.
All right, you might be on something. Shoo! All right, so we're gonna take a break. Wow, I'm getting really dizzy. Dude, do that. You'll get messed up in a hurry.
Really?
Like you give it a second.
God.
How's that?
Yeah,
How you feeling?
I don't
You
spin.
do that.
You don't, no, not a roller coaster guy?
No, I don't spin.
I'm about to throw up.
Yeah, me too. I got a little. Anyways, taking a break here, a little intermission, but this is not an ad. This is going to be a drawing, okay? We are going to draw the pond design very quickly so you guys understand what our vision is here as this thing gets constructed. You ready for this, man?
Yeah.
All right, this is good. I like we have a huge whiteboard now. So the pond, first off, you got to start with one of these. Never eat soggy waffles. You know what I'm saying? So this is what the pond looks like. Like this is the dam, okay? Kind of comes down and it kind of does one of these, okay? So this right here is the dam, okay? Otherwise, you're just looking at a circle. So the vision here is on this north, actually, we're not gonna do blue, we'll do green. On this north bay, we're gonna put in a shelf, okay? It goes all the way right here. And this is gonna be anywhere from like 1 to like 4 feet, okay? And this is for spawning. Now you might be thinking, why are you putting it on the north side if you guys fish lakes? Now keep in mind this is a small pond. In this case, it probably doesn't matter. But in the winter or early spring, the way the sun orientates, it beams on the north bank more than the south side because the elevation. Now normally in the summer, your sun's gonna go across your pond, but in the winter, it's actually going like this. And so your sun, you'll get the most sun over here, which means in theory, on big lakes, your north coves and north creeks are always the warmest, the soonest. So if you're looking for spawning fish, go north. It's not always true because sometimes you get cold water pumping in, but in this case, that's at least the vision. So spawning here, now this is where the water comes out, okay? So that's where it comes in over in that area. We're gonna let that be. In fact, I wanna try to put like maybe like one shelf, like right here, and then we could put like rocks and stuff like that for the fish to stage on. And then maybe some like brush piles down here. So if they're deep, this is the deepest part too. This is, maybe 15 feet. Then they come up here, they've got these little trees to hide in, and then you step up maybe a couple more feet into this. And this will be ice cold. So this will be cold, this will be warm. In the summer, this is where they're gonna be. In the spring, they're gonna be over here. That's the idea. Now, we need a beach, okay? We need a hangout spot. So we're gonna draw a little beach. It's gonna kind of go like that. So this is the beach. And the beach is just gonna be sand, zero entry, place for kids to hang out. Now, fish, they also like sandy beaches. You're a big sand pit guy. You catch a lot of spawning fish in the sand pits, which is very similar. So you've got that. Now, I ran out of colors. Is the only got 3 colors?
Behind me.
Oh, right here.
It's over here.
I got you. All right, so then you got your beach, your spawning bay. This is where the dock is gonna come into play, okay? So we're gonna have a dock, and it's gonna look something like that, okay? So your boat is gonna hang out in here, boat, okay? And then here's your dock, and that's the idea. Now, we've been talking about doing off-grid cabin, stuff like that. I'm thinking we potentially just make this huge, make this a huge floating dock where it's got like maybe this side is like, you go like this, and then maybe you've got like a door that walks in here or something, and then this would be the tackle shop. I want like a tackle store vibe, okay? So you break off a lure, you poach your putts, you drive your boat back into the dock, you walk into the tackle shop, you get a new bandito bug. I think that'd be kind of cool. And then over here, this is where the sandy beach ties into here. You might have like a little ladder with like a little maybe diving board or something like that. So that's the idea. Now, structure, we don't really know what to do. This is where we need your help, okay? You've got, maybe 15 feet here. I'm guessing up here you might be at like maybe 6 to 8 foot deep, okay? Up in here, and it gets deeper as we go. So there's like kind of like rings, like shelves that kind of go like this, and it gets deeper. So each shelf, it gets deeper as it all flows down into this area here. So that's the question. This is the layout. One question is, do you like it? And 2, would you change anything? And then 3, what should we put in here? I'm leaving this entire thing open for you guys to decide, okay? All sorts of structure, whether it's trees, whether it's rocks. We've got old cars we can put down there that don't have engines, which I think would be kind of cool. So let me know what you guys think of this design and what we should add for structure and if we should do anything different. Let's get back to building the pond. so the clay has been put around the sides. You guys saw they went around and around with the dozers, with the packers, and got her done did. So all the clay that they brought in has now been used, and now it's put right here. Right here. Look at this. That's oh, maybe that's not such a great piece. Is it clay-like or is it not? Kinda.
I mean, it's sticking. It's
also
not
bad.
It's also going to be mixed with dirt now too, though.
Yeah, true. What do you got? Oh,
Good night.
Here's some clay.
you think that's gonna, is that gonna hold it? Maybe we should pack that one in, huh?
Yeah.
So the entire all the sides around the entire pond here are now packed with clay. The bottom was the only issue we have with the bottom is it was a little bit soft and a little bit hard to work into. So they're gonna let it dry today, come back tomorrow, and hopefully be able to bring the actual trucks down into the bottom of the pond. So you guys saw the scraper went around and spread it and packed it, whatever. Now it should go even faster to do the bottom because the trucks can directly deposit down in the bottom of the pond, and then all you do is you just take bulldozers and spread it. So it's a lot faster than just running one scraper. Potentially going to be using 2 or 3 bulldozers to do it, and then come in and pack it and make it nice and smooth. But what are your bets? Are your bets that one layer of clay is going to be sufficient, or do you think that you're going to need some bentonite?
I feel like you'd be good. You'd maybe have a slow leak, but I think bentonite is going to be like foolproof.
So you're thinking bentonite?
I've been bentonite the whole time.
Because it's not your money. We've been over this so many times. But Victor, you got to think like it is your money, okay, and make a logical decision.
That is my life.
Because if you think of the way that's not your money, you start turning to this guy, and then it's not good. You know what I mean? So are you team bentonite or no?
Yes.
What did you, team bentonite?
I want to fish it like in 2 months.
Banjo's getting impatient. So it looks good. Like this right here, I mean, that's clay. Like, look, if you can get your fingerprint in it, I feel like that's decent. So all of the sides are covered. Now they just got to do the bottom, and then we've got a hard decision to make. Do we spend another 60 grand and bring in bentonite, and then do we spend another 40 grand and bring in more clay? I don't like pond building. This is way, way too expensive. But if it works, hopefully we will be fishing it this year. So that being said, tomorrow they're going to bring clay down to the very bottom and hopefully pack the rest of it, and then we will be ready to fill it or potentially get bentonite, depending on what we decide. You guys stay tuned. Alrighty, folks, the pond is officially done. Bam! Look at it. She is smooth as a baby's bum, Banjo. What do you think?
Looks good.
Does it look good? What do you think, Big Junior?
I think it's going to hold water after we do bentonite.
He's still, dude, we've had, you know how many discussions? I'm like, dude, guys, think about it though. We just put down like 6 to 8 inches of clay around the entire thing. Like, that's more than what any of the reservoirs around here ever do, and they don't have a problem with it leaking. Why can't we do that? And the whole time, he's thinking, I need bentonite here.
Foolproof.
You want me to turn the water on real quick?
I know, that's so tempting. Like, if we just turn, the thing is, there's still gonna be some, like, saturation period, even with clay. So, like, if we filled this thing up a little bit and turn it off, it's gonna seep. You just hope that eventually it saturates enough. But as you can tell, the entire pond is completely done. It is smooth. There's not a bump, there's not a hump, there's not a nothing to it, and the entire thing is lined with clay. So now we have the decision to make. Do we bring in bentonite, and do we bring in clay? One or both or neither? Because, again, right now, technically, like Bama Bass, for example, because all you guys keep, if you go talk to Bama Bass, I talked to him, okay? He builds good ponds, okay? Way better than me. He only brought in 1 layer of clay, and he only sprinkled bentonite, I believe, once he realized there was a little bit of a leak, but the whole thing didn't leak. And so I'm sitting at a point right now where Bama Bass, if I'm channeling my inner Bama Bass, he turned the water at this point. And when he did have a little bit of a leak, he spread some bentonite, but he didn't cover the entire thing. I'm like, dude, think about it, you save $100,000 by not doing it, okay? But then on the flip side, if it leaks, you're not really starting over, but then you got to dry it out and you got to bring the bentonite, then you got to do it all over. So we need your guys' help. What would you do? The pond, currently, the entire thing has clay in it. It's pushed, it's packed, it's graded, it's smooth. If you were me, would you just turn on the water and hope for the best? Now, keep in mind, it's going to take like 3 months for us to know whether this thing leaks or not, okay? Like, it's going to take a long time. And so we're going to end up missing spring stocking season for fish if we have to then drain it and restart it. Or do you guys say, listen, you've already spent so much money, what's another 100 grand? Just freaking do it. Do it the right way. Do it so you never have to do it ever again. Fingers crossed, hopefully. What would you guys do? You guys have to comment down below and let us know, because now I'm at a point where I'm like, do I make the phone call and get the bentonite in here, or do I just leave it as is and turn the water on? That's what I'm thinking. What do you think?
I'm ready to fish. Let's turn the water on.
Bentonite.
You ready to fish?
Yeah, I'm ready to fish.
Bet night? Okay. Would you cover the bet night with clay again, or would you just leave it as is?
See, I don't know about that.
The reason why you would cover it is because you want to make a protective layer over it. And so that way, like, deer can't just, like, puncture through the little bet night thing.
I like Oreos. If you're talking about Oreos, let's make an Oreo.
Just making it foolproof.
Foolproof. Big Junior. So Big Junior's vote is go all in. Your vote is turn it on right now or no?
I want to fish.
Banjo wants to fish it now. Big Junior wants to go all the way. I'm like, if I do the bet night, I'm gonna do the other layer of clay. So it's either spend $0 or spend 100 grand. I'm not gonna just bring the bet night and then not bring in the second layer of clay, because if I bring the bet night and it still doesn't work, it's gonna make it into an entire mess. So comment down below what you guys think we should do. If you were me, what would you do? Would you leave it as is? Would you turn it on? Would you see what happens? Or would you say, screw it, we're bringing the bet night, bringing the clay, and we're gonna make it happen? Let me know in the comment section down below, and hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video, and peace.